really like it. It just makes me want to click it, and it's so responsive. Like, it's really nice. The hop up, I haven't turned it yet. I don't really want to tamper with the hop up just yet until I shoot the gun, because Levi said it's set to 2.8, so I will really want to test that factor and see if that's facts, or if that's just opinion based. What else? I really love the skeletonized thing, because the ability to see your engine and your wiring and all that good stuff. The only thing that worries me is, because I play in all seasons, this gun would make me scared to play with it in rainy time periods, especially when it's raining heavy. I live in England. A lot of the time, you know, it's pissing down with rain, or it's frosty, icy, or it's cold and humidity outside. When you're out playing at 10 AM, I would be worried about these parts, moisture getting into areas you don't really want moisture to be in. And even once moisture does get in there, basically the ability of like cleaning the gun down, which should be fairly easy by just popping this, which is something maybe we should do. I just don't want to damage the gun. And just have a brief look. There is no charging handle, so do I have to pull that down like the MTW? Because I know the MTW you have to pop that as well, and then it all kind of uncenters. Okay, yeah, it looks like you do. So I'm not going to move it about too much, because with these HPA based rifles, obviously you've got an airline, so if I tug that too hard I might pull something out of something I don't want it to pull out of, essentially. But I just kind of wanted to show you. So like you can see on the inside, you've got this set screw that's holding this back unit in, so if you did want to switch over, you'd kind of have the ability to do that. But I think where the gun is so light and it's easy to hold the mid frame centered, because it's so light, you might not even need that function. So I'll have to just, maybe the day I take it out, I'll have to give it a play and see. All of that stuff kind of just looks like almost like normal, because that's how a HPA setup would look. I just like the thing, everything looks cleanly what's the wire managed well, so well done on that. I love how this hop up unit and this whole engine section is its own bay. It's like it's its own bay. It's not in a gearbox shell, anything like that. It's like its own base. Like it's almost like a bolt bit built gun, but without the bolt system. It's really cool. Still, it is which is a HPA gun, but I'm saying I like the way that they've done it. It's done well. It looks clean. Whereas there's some, when you open them, you're kind of worried. You're like, ugh, the wire management is trash here. Like, this looks done really well. So I get that's maybe what you're paying for, the fine tuning. And then look, they still even give you the ability to plug up your ETU into other things, so that's nice. Like maybe to program it or add things like what's it called, like aftermarket parts, like a tracer, a built-in tracer, hop up and stuff like that, which is nice. That's that for the £800. That's something I'd want access to, so that's nice that they thought of you that way. Do you know what, like now that I've taken it down a little bit, I feel a bit more comfortable with the £800. His gun does need a little clean out though. It's a bit dusty where it's been played with, and you can see where maybe he hasn't taken it down to de-dust and de-dust some of these areas. I have to get the air can out. I'm not trying to do too much to it. It's his gun. I just want to, because it's skeletonized, you just kind of want to keep it as clean as you can, because if not, you're going to get dust and debris build up in areas like your hop up, and these things will eventually cause you problems, or things like, yeah, like your hop up, and they will eventually cause you issues. Your magwell not so much, but yeah man, the gun for £800, I would keep that clean like my car, bruv. But yeah, but yes, what else can I talk about? The mag catch thing feels nice and firm, because that's another thing. I always feel like they give you cheap ones, and when I saw this one, I kind of thought, oh, for 800 quid I expected something that looks a bit better than this, but what it lacks in looks, it delivers in performance. It feels firm, the spring feels good, it releases the mag. When the mag is in there, it feels very secure. I felt the same thing about this selector switch as well, but I've come to learn that, how would I explain it? I've come to learn that it's the same with this. What it lacks in pretty, it has in performance. So again, I guess that's something that will grow on me. Plus it isn't my gun, so hopefully in the time I have the gun, or I'm using the gun or reviewing the gun, I get to understand stuff like that a bit better. Because I feel like, trust me, there was a lot of things I had as opinions about this weapon before actually getting access to it. Like, I didn't like the way the body seats together, because I felt like there was a gap in between it. And like I'm saying to you, with an electronic system, we're in England, bro, I was just worried water and moisture and things like that would get into spaces you didn't want it to be. Another cool thing I just wanted to show you briefly, they've got a little Hertic Labs logo up top here. I think that's a nice little feature. I like how they've done the upper rail as well. It gives you the rail sections, but then you got a brake, which is that goes with that school skeletonized thing. And I'll show you the other side. So similar to what I said earlier, not much grip. Like you'd expect with a gun of this level, like it would look like a max mag release. So do you know what I'm trying to say? You'd expect, right? But it does what it says on the tin, and to be fair, it feels really good. It feels, even when I was taking out the battle axe mag, it felt really good. You know what I'm saying? It's solid, firm, loose enough to work, not too firm. Like, it felt nice. The system isn't ambidextrous, so it's more for us right-handers. If you're a lefty, you might have a problem with this gun, because obviously there's no lefty system or righty system here. It only provides the, you know what I'm saying, functionality with the right hands. So if you were lefty, you might have to just switch over hands and do it that way. So in theory it could work for lefties, it's just not ambidextrous. Like the little channeling on the body and stuff like that, but that's just more design for the look, like the skeletonized in the mag stuff. I like this little spring thing that they've put here, because some companies don't get that right, and it affects the way this bar operates. Their one feels loose enough that I can pop this without damaging the carbon fiber, because often you end up having to damage the metal there. It moves with minimal pressure, but it feels firm enough that once it's locked in, it's not going to open by itself. So that was something I liked about the system as well, because trust me, I've done enough M4 builds for people, and that's one area I really don't like, because people blame you for it and they don't understand it's the lower receiver, it's the company that they've chosen. Some companies do it really well, like G&G are really good at it as well, but some companies just don't get that right, and it does really affect the way that the upper receiver seats. And if it's in like a gas blowback build or something like that, it really does affect the, like, over say 100,000 shots, it really does affect the way your receiver seats, because there's movement during that process. But a whole nother thing for another day. They've got the slit in between the trigger, kind of like that, but that's notorious for M4s. Even non-skeletonized one, I've seen that design quite a few times. And then at the bottom you have your grip that hosts your HPA line, and then your battery wire, if you want to call it that. I haven't spoke much about your outer barrel, because it's quite simple. It's just like a speed softer screw-on type CNC barrel. Gives you tracer compatibility because it's threaded. As you can see, it's threaded. And there isn't much to say about it. It's just really light. It does feel comfortable on the hand. It doesn't feel like it's cutting up my hand. It does feel really comfortable. To be like, if I'm to be honest with you guys, like, it's a good gun. It's a really good gun for £800. Like, I feel like when a gun is over £400, yeah, maybe over £400, because I feel like up until £300 it's still expensive, but it's not. £300 is, you can explain that. When you spend anything over £300, it gets a bit mad, because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, £1,000, like, you have to be able to. If you can't explain to yourself why you've done it, because it's not even explaining to anyone else, if you can't explain to yourself why you've done it, there's an issue. Because like I said, for 300 quid you could get something really good on the market. Like, trust me, go back over the channel. For 300 quid, you could play airsoft and have a rifle that's outdoing most people on the field. Because trust me, there's lots of guns I could list. This video ain't about them suppliers, so I'm not gonna list their names, but do you get what I'm trying to say? Even the grip, one thing I will say as well, I'm normally funny about M4 or AR style grips. This one is really comfortable. I was a bit funny about it when I saw it, but it is really comfortable. Even one-handed with the rifle. May not play like that, but it does feel nice. And I'm not paid to say none of this. It's not my gun. They're not paying me no subscription or nothing, but it's a nice gun. If there's anything I want to say is, for 800 quid it's worth it, because I feel like when you spend 800 quid on something, there's a thin line. It's either, is it worth it or is it not? And do you see what I'm saying? People could argue that and under argue it and rare, but the basis of the argument is that, is it worth it? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because you spent quite a lot of money, and I feel like with this I was very skeptical. Genuinely, I was very skeptical, because I was like, £800, bro, and that's out of the box. Like, don't get me wrong, you ain't got to do anything to it, so there you are, whoop-de-doo, great times, right? But at the same time, it still left me with the thing of like, it better not have nothing to do with it for £800. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's quite a lot of money. And it's left me, it's one of them guns. I found this with the more higher level stuff that I've reviewed on the channel. When a gun is worth its money, but you still feel like it could be a bit cheaper, you're stuck in this weird box as a reviewist where you're like, therefore worth the money, but there's not much more to say about that apart from like what I did: list the specs, talk about how it feels, how it looks, what you're gonna get for your money, and kind of just move on. Because you're like, yeah, like for 800 quid it's worth it, because if you were to build this it would cost you a lot more than 800 quid. But if you were to ask me if I would buy it, not at 800 quid myself personally. I just feel like it's a bit too much. Maybe at 550 I would definitely grab it. 550 I could argue that with myself. 550 definitely. Push 600 quid, but I feel like at 800, because the Inferno engine is 3 bills, I'm like, brother, you could just buy a cheap M4 body that you're happy with, which won't be skeletonized and won't be CNC'd and probably won't be as light as this, but do you really care? The gun is light anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is where my brain is at. I'm like, you could build this for a lot less than 800 quid if you were minimalistic. So if you took out, I don't know, the Inferno, well, yeah, the Inferno gen and the trigger unit and all of that, if you kept that and the hop-up unit, but you switched out everything else, you could definitely build it a lot cheaper. Because I feel like majority of the price, yeah, it's like this CNC bit, this the skeletonized thing, and the fact that it's so light. The rest of the stuff ain't bad. Like I said, you could probably clear that up in probably like 4-5 bills. So it's what, do you see why I said 550? I probably would have bought this at 550 myself. I just feel like at 8 it's a bit over for me, but it's definitely worth it, because like I said, it costs more than 800 quid to build this. If you were to do this yourself, including postage and packaging and all these things as well, yeah bro, you're definitely spending more than £800. So well done Heretic Labs for getting something built like this. I'm just a mad in-depth person, because most people would be like, £800, great, bam bam bam, the work's done, bam bam bam. Because I tech, I'm like, nah man, you could get this done a lot cheaper, but definitely worth the buy. Definitely worth the buy. I look forward to gaming this, and this is one of the guns that I'm kind of like, just want to end the review and go and shoot it. So, and that's a good sign. That's a really good sign for me, because more time I want to end the review and just put the damn thing in the box and go back to my next task. So the fact that I'm looking forward, like I actually want to end the review to go and shoot the gun. I think what I will do is do a review part 2 or part 3 or something of the day that I actually use it. I probably won't use it the whole day, because I've got other weapons that I need to test out and just check are functioning the way I want them to that day. But I'll at least give it 2 games so that I can talk from an informed space. I might even see if he lends it to me for a bit longer, because then I might be able to take it out to another session at the end of the month. So without further ado, I'm gonna love y'all and leave y'all and say, like, share, subscribe, and share this video. You guys requested this one. Show me some love on this one. I went out my way to get the gun for y'all. And yeah, until the next one, peace and blessings, people. just wanted to show you guys a quick update. So batteries connected, mags in, lines in, HPA lines connected at 90 psi. And the trigger is literally as responsive as you want it to be fair. I think his auto is set up to 1, 2. Give me one sec, let me have a look. One, 2, 3. I think it's 3. It's set up to 3 shots, and then his semi is set up to semi. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, set up to 3. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that how it actually fires. There's literally no recoil though. Go on, people. So I kind of wanted to just do like a follow-up. On the article, because I did end up getting a chance to take her out for a little bit on my little range. So I've got a range in my garden, and I shoot at distances from 5 meters, 8.4 meters, and then I believe it's 14.5 meters, and it done really well. This thing, I would like to see it outdoors, because I feel like because of the range I was shooting at, it made me feel like, how would I explain it? So you see earlier in the review video, I basically said I'm not sure I would buy it, and that wasn't a knock to the gun. That was because of the style player that I am. So I have this thing, I saw it first when I first got the DSG build. There was games in CQB I'd play with the DSG build, and I felt like I was cheating. But it wasn't that I was cheating, it was just that the gun I had was so high performance. When you match that with my player skill set, and that's not me bragging myself up, at the time I weren't great, I weren't a great player, but I was like mid. So when you match a mid player with a really good gun, I felt like at points it was cheap. It was almost like we were going out and we were just winning even when we wasn't trying. So, and you'll notice this if you go back over the season when I was going future survival a lot, you'll see this. So go back through the channel if you really got the time, and you'll see what I'm saying. Around that time, I'd play with the DSG build for maybe 1 or 2 games, and then the rest of the night I'd have the pistol, or I'd vary it. And why I would be doing that is if I saw we were dominating when I had the DSG build, what I was doing was saying, do you know what, let me ease off them. Even though I'm good with the pistol, it just makes it a bit more competitive for them towards us, basically. I feel the same about this. From I plugged up, I will say this, it felt more safer than a HPA gun, because when I'm setting up a Tipman, I'm always on edge. Like, it's almost like I feel like something's gonna explode, or do you get what I'm saying? I'm always on edge. Whereas with this, it felt quite nice. It almost just felt like plugging up my HPA for my pistol, and it felt a bit more safer than that because the way the system works, plus there's this electronic system talking to it, so it just felt, I don't know, like you'd have to do it yourself to maybe experience what I'm talking about, but it just felt, I remember plugging up the tank feeling like, oh, I thought that noise was gonna be more louder. It was very like minimal, so it made me like, it just felt mad safe. Whereas at the Tipman's, I don't know if it's me, but I don't ever feel safe around a Tipman. Gee, even when I'm using it for the day, especially the ones that's been converted to HPA, I always feel weird when they're plugged up to that pressure remote line thing. It's weird. Whereas this, it made me feel good. The bad thing, and it's actually a good thing, is because the gun is so good. Because the trigger response is so fluent, and the gun doesn't have to work hard to deliver that shot and cycle ready again for next shot, you're not in this position with the gun where it's like you're able to go tap 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 tap, and You see, for example, with the DSG build, when you do it, because it's an electric gun, and maybe it's just me in it, I'll talk for myself, I tend to do this thing where after I've done it like 6 or 7 times, my brain goes chill out a bit, chill out, slow down. And it does that because I'm now worrying about the internals of the gun, because if I do that, say for 120 rounds, drop the mag, put it back in 120 rounds, because I'm so used to normal builds, not DSG builds, it's like I'm taking that mindset from the normal builds over to the DSG build, and it's good because my parts will last longer because I'm thinking about them every so often. But at the same time, it's probably not good because part of the perks of having a DSG build is it just wears a lot less because of how it's built, and it's built to handle high rates of fire and stuff like that. That's how this left me feeling. It kind of left me feeling like if I was playing with this in CQB, do you know what? This is the thought that passed my mind after the first 10 shots. If I was playing with this in CQB, I'd feel like I'm cheating, and I'd feel like I'm cheating because I've got the range, but the gun is so short and tuckable, and you can go around corners, and it's so light. Like there's literally nothing to it. I could literally throw this across the room. There's nothing to it. Like you can literally see it. There's nothing to it. So what was I saying? Yeah, it made me feel like I was cheating because it's basically like it has everything you're looking for. So it's too good now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's so good that, yeah, do you know what? That's what I was meant to say. So after shooting like say 10 more shots, I hit this thing where, because I loaded 160 rounds, made sure the mag was full, and within like under like 2 minutes the mag was empty. And I wasn't shooting consistently. I was shooting, I took a little pause, chatting, thinking about things, shot again. Within 3 minutes, the mag was over. Do you get what I'm saying? And you might listen to that and think, oh, but it doesn't take long to get rid of. But I stopped, paused, I was doing other things. How did I clear 160 mag in under 3 minutes? It's because, like I said, the tappability, you've gone bam, 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 bam. You haven't really realized that's 10 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Whereas on another gun, to shoot 10 rounds, you might be a bit more aware of it. So you might end up shooting 3 or 4 and then pausing. With this, you've let 10, 12, 15 off and you haven't thought about it. And I think Levi's got it programmed on auto to 2 or 3 round bursts. So at points, I'm going 3 round, and I'm not even realizing until I'm hearing the gun make a funny noise. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? I've looked in my mag, I'm like, oh, the bloody thing's empty. So I don't have any bad things to say about it, but I think the good things I'm saying end up becoming bad things, because I think for me, okay, let's start with the good and end with the bad. I know I should do it the other way around, but there's a reason I'm doing it that way. Let's start with the good. For 800 quid, this is probably, if not, it's not even probably, this is the best thing on the market. And that's a big statement for me to say, y'all know, because I'm not getting paid to do this. For £800, this is honestly the best thing on the market. All you need is a little miniature battery and a HPA setup, you're lit. And this thing will shoot lightweights like CQB stuff, and this will shoot heavy weights like not SMG, but rifle range, DMR range. Like the range that this thing is getting is really good for that length barrel. It's got me rethinking the length of my DMR barrel currently, because I'm like, if I can get that kind of range with that length, I might go 200, maybe 210, 212 myself and just see how my gun performs, because it would be really cool. Whereas before I was running something like a 118 or I think it was 130, 140, so I basically had a pistol barrel in my AEG. So it's opened up my eyes to potential things that I could do over the next season to make my gun something closer to this. So yeah, like it's definitely got a thumbs up for me. I just think with a gun like this, and I think this is sometimes this is where it reminds me of car manufacturers when they make something so good that it's now problematic to the thing that they created it for. So I feel like this gun is good, but I think the problem for me is, as an advanced player, and I'm not worried about meeting these players, bro. If you win, you win. It forces me to become a better player. But my problem with this weapon is, you could hand this to literally a noob, a 12-year-old this is their third airsoft game, and because of how it's built, as long as you set up the HPA and all of that for them, if you give them this once they hit the field, they'll fuck everybody up on the field and they're a noob. And it's because the gun is so light, so agile, tracer ready. Do you get what I'm saying? It literally has everything an airsofter would dream of. It almost reminds me of like a paintball gun, because the way it looks, the way it's built, the way, even the ergonomics of how you would use it, it reminds me of a paintball gun. And even the lack of recoil, nothing that adjusts your shot. Like, you could literally sit there just holding it and fire, and you're literally lasering the same space. That's one thing I would say about it. It was bloody accurate. I was able to shoot my targets on my range, and there's no scope, no red dot, no nothing, and everything was accurate. Normally I'd have to take 1 or 2, maybe 3 shots to get it lined up properly. Brother, 1 shot. Like, even my most tiniest targets, 1 shot. So whatever barrel they do have in there, they've done really well with that barrel and that hop up and whatever buckings in there. That setup there is really good, because I'm telling you, I have a DMR and that thing is accurate, but it's accurate because I've got a red, well, it's accurate anyway, but it becomes more accurate because I've got a red dot on it. This thing was it was probably as accurate, and it has nothing on it. Do you get what I'm saying? So Hertic Labs, big thumbs up. For the airsoft community, you've done an amazing thing. I just think for the airsoft community, again, maybe you've done a bad thing, because you basically created something that it's gonna make lazy players. It's gonna, you see the fat kid at your school, it's gonna make him think he's a great player, and it's because he has everything in one package. Whereas if he bought, I don't know, the standard AG and did tweaks, he would still have to become a good player to get the kills. This, he's gonna get the kills. So I think that's, like I said, it's like the bittersweet within something. It's like you've created something so good that now you've created a problem within the marketplace, because I can see it. Little 12-year-old, his 3rd or 4th game, you give him this, he's gonna obliterate everybody, bro. Same for the fat kids or the unfit people. You give them this, and do you know, it's interesting, now that I've got it myself, I understand the people that I met on the field with it and my interactions with them now, because it's so light, it has the range, it does close up, it does lightweights, it does slightly heavier weights. I shot 3s out of it earlier and it did pretty good with that. It almost is a cheating, like, I don't want to say this because it's Levi's gun in it, but it almost is a cheating gun. Like, it makes me feel like, you know, sometimes, okay, I'll give you an example. I have a DSG build, but I've limited it to 30 rounds. It could probably do 50 rounds, yeah, but I've limited it to 30 rounds because I feel like 30 rounds is a space where I'm never gonna really use 30 rounds per second. But I've done that so that I have the option, if I ever want to go on auto, of keeping up with somebody like a LMG or something like that, even though I've got a standard size rifle. And I've done other little things, like set it to single shot and binary to semi-lock myself in the game. I can't technically shoot auto unless I reprogram it back into auto. Do you know what I'm saying? And I put these things in place to make sure that even though I have this high performance gun, I am limited even when I'm trying to push the limits. That's why I've set it that way. Now, I feel like this gun gives you so much programmability, so you could probably program out the cheating things I'm talking about. But I genuinely like this is the, okay, yeah, maybe let me explain what happened, because then you'll understand how I'm reacting. It's like, the gun's got me so confused, bro, because it's like, it's sick, bro. It's sick. It's actually sick, but I don't like it. And I don't like it because I feel like this would make me a lazy player, and I don't like that. Like, one thing I like about my Voss Kai Kappa, a lot of people talk about the brand and the level. Once you change a few things on it, it's now a decent mid-range gun. It's still not as good as some of the other guns on the market, but I like that because it forces me as a player to match the work I've done to it to equal a good outcome, good playership, good shots, winning matches. And you guys have seen it, go through the channel, you've seen there's games I win, there's games I lose, there's games I win again. And it's because all I'm doing is I'm building something to a good enough standard. Pretty good. Like, it's probably one of the best pistols in my team. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, in terms of accuracy and range and all these things. Other people's got more expensive and better pistols in terms of value. But it's good, but it's not that good that I can sit there and get lazy. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like this, if you really wanted to camp up and just snipe everybody. You could, if you really wanted to be rolling around doing movie shit and still getting the kills. You could, if you wanted to literally spray kill. You could. It's, and I think that's what makes this review so weird, because everything I'm saying isn't because the gun is bad. The gun is really, really, really good. But I think because it's so good, they've created something that's now problematic to the market, because it's just too good. It reminds me, do you know what? Maybe I'll explain this and it will make sense. Do you remember when the SSG-1 came out from G&G? Everybody, I remember everybody was vexed. You had so many guys that had put hundreds of pounds into good builds and stuff like that, and then here's this gun that comes and straight out of the box, it's better than you man's gun. Do you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't perfect, because even me, I have a SSG-1, that's my DSG build. I've done my own things to it, whatnot, to get how I want it. But the gun fucked up the market when it came out, because it was like the cross between a speedsoft rifle and like everybody else's like military looking shit. Do you get what I'm saying? And the thing is, it could keep up. It was faster rounds wise than most of the things around at that time. There was obviously things faster, but I'm saying in an average basis, as an all-rounder gun, like it performs well, good ETU system, bam bam bam, it was good stuff. And then yeah, like it's weird, man. Yeah, it reminds me of that time period is essentially what I'm trying to say. It reminds me of that time period because it took some time for everybody else to catch up, and that's where HPA rifles and MTWs and all these people or companies started putting out new things on the market to make the fire rate more faster and the new ETUs on the market. I feel like what they did was they forced the game to speed up. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying only them, because there was other companies who did this as well. Double Eagle with the Honey Badger, and Spectre Arms with the Edge series, and they did a Flex series, and they forced the whole market's hands to up their standards. I think with this, yeah, and I'll end on here. I think with this, my concern is, as a fanatic of Airsoft, seeing something like this shows me that in 5 years we may get to a stage in Airsoft where there's no point buying anything else that the company drops. And I say that to say this: with a build like this, what more can a company do? And I know people are gonna have the speculations, the engine could be smaller, the hop up could be better and rare, but get your hands on one of these and shoot, and you see what I'm saying. And that's not to say that it isn't without its flaws. I've already seen things on it I would want to adapt and change and whatnot, but I don't think they're relevant enough to bring up, because I feel like they're more based around me as a player. I'm very specific, especially when it comes to AR-15 M4 style platforms. I'm very specific, like very specific. Like if you know, then you know. But yeah, man. And you people might ask, oh, explain why you're saying that, but I can just see it's like, where do you go from here? Like, where do you honestly go? And you see, for me, I can answer that. You only have a few options. You either keep going further down this line so it gets more skeletonized, more lighter, more rare, but you're gonna get to a stage where you've literally got an engine and a trigger framework, and you're shooting. That's what you're gonna end up at. And for me, it's no longer an AR-15. You've literally got a trigger gun. That's all it is. It's like an engine and anything stripped down further than this. And if not, what you do is you keep this framework and you do what like MTW's done or TM have done with the high capper, where you just keep on repeating the same thing and tweaking little like one thing or do what Apple do, where you change one or two things. But my thing is, do you see what I'm saying? I can see this gun is a problem, and it's a problem in the concept that they built something so good. Where do you go from here?
Church and all of that. We saying part 20, the finale. Imagine, live sessions is done for me. It's crazy. I remember when we recorded part 1, 2, and 3. Remember when we shot the first couple of videos. It's crazy. God is great, eh? Here but I'm gone, guess we rarely speaking. Big Zubber and brown juice, the beat kicks in. Reminisce about old days, the barrel spin. Now I pour out my pain just to see win-win. Pray for them, the next gens, they sin. Go so hard in this thing and have no next of kin. It's so sad in this life, what we do to win. They just lined up a upper, ain't no shape up thing, survival of the fittest. No one showing pity, reporting from a first-hand view. I love my city, 12 loco, be circulating. If you slip, then they're escalating. Watch your team close, yeah, they're penetrating. More time the ones that phony be hesitating. Forever shaking, you a foe if I ain't mistaken. Stayed so loyal to the cause when my back was breaking. Hand on heart, looked me in my eyes, but you was faking. Heart was breaking, I was trying to heal cause I was aching. I tell them chase your dreams, build this music, it's a faith thing. Battles with my anger, trying to